Hello again. I wanted to read this book to you, Stone Soup. It is about a little boy who tricks a lady into making him a delicious meal with a stone. Some versions have some soldiers that come and have a village get tricked into cooking for them. But in today's story, it's a young man. Stone Soup. A young man was walking. He walked and he walked and he walked all night and he walked all day. He was tired and he was hungry. At last he came to a big house. "What a fine house," he said. "There'll be plenty of food for me there." He knocked on the door. A little old lady opened it. Good lady, said the young man. "I am very hungry. Can you give me something to eat?" "I have nothing to give you," said the little old lady. "I have nothing in the house. I have nothing in the garden." And she began to close the door. "Stop," said the young man. "If you will not give me something to eat, will you give me a stone?" He wants to eat a stone? A stone, said the little old lady. "What will you do with a stone? You cannot eat a stone." "Ah," said the young man, "I can make soup from a stone." The little lady had never heard of that. Make soup from a stone? Fancy that. "There are stones in the road," said the little old lady. The young man picked up a round gray stone. "This stone will make a wonderful soup," he said. "Now get me a pot." The little lady got a pot. "Fill the pot with water and put on the fire," the young man said. The little old lady did what she was told, and soon the water was bubbling in the pot. I can infer that the water is boiling if it's bubbling in the pot, and that means it's hot. The young man put the round gray stone into the pot. "Now we will wait for the stone to cook into soup," he said. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little lady said, "This soup is cooking fast." "It is cooking fast now," said the hungry young man, "but it would cook faster with some onions." So the little lady went to her garden to get some yellow onions. Into the pot went the yellow onions with the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady said, "This soup smells good." "It smells good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would smell better with some carrots." So the little lady went out into the garden and pulled up all the carrots she could carry. Into the pot went the long, thin carrots with the yellow onions and the round, gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little lady said, "This soup tastes good." "It tastes good now," said the hungry young man, "but it would taste better with some beef bones." So the little old lady went to get some juicy beef bones. Into the pot went the juicy beef bones and the long, thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round, gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little lady said, "This soup is fit for a prince." "It is fit for a prince now," said the hungry young man, "but it would be fit for a king if it had a little bit of pepper and a handful of salt in it." Think back to the beginning. He came and he said, "Can you feed me?" And she said, "I don't have anything in the garden. I don't have anything in my house." So the little old lady got the pepper and the salt. Into the pot went a bit of pepper and a handful of salt, with the juicy beef bones and the long, thin carrots and the yellow onions and the round gray stone. "Soup from a stone," said the little old lady. "Fancy that." The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little lady said, "This soup is too thin." "It is too thin now," said the hungry young man. "So it would be nice and thick with some butter and some barley." Barley is like wheat. It's a kind of grain. So the little old lady went to get some butter and barley. Into the pot went the butter and barley and a bit of pepper and a handful of salt and the juicy beef bones and the long thin carrots and yellow onions and a round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. The pot bubbled and bubbled. After a while, the little old lady tasted the soup again. That is good soup, she said. Yes, said the hungry young man. This soup is fit for a king. Now we will eat it. Stop, said the little old lady. This soup is indeed fit for a king. Now I will set the table fit for a king. So she took out her best tablecloth and her best dishes. Then the little old lady and the hungry young man ate all the soup. The soup made with the butter and barley, the bit of pepper and salt, beef bones, thin carrots, yellow onions, and the round gray stone. Soup from a stone, said the little old lady. Fancy that. Now, I must be on my way, said the young man, and he took the stone out of the pot and he put it in his pocket. Why are you taking the stone, said the little old lady. Well, said the young man, the stone, it's not cooked enough. I will have to cook it some more tomorrow. And the young man said goodbye. He walked on down the road and he walked and he walked. What a fine supper I will have tomorrow, he said to himself. Soup from a stone. Imagine that. What do you think the theme of our story is today? I talked to you about the young man tricking the old lady, but the theme really isn't about being a trickster. No, he is sly like a trickster. When we were reading the gingerbread man, and he got eaten by the fox who said, oh, no, come up a little closer. Oh, come up over here, over here. Snip, snap, he ate him. So he is tricky like him. He had to talk her into it. But then she said at the beginning, this is what she was thinking, I don't have anything. And then he said, let's just try this. Let's try this. So she tried it. And then all of a sudden she had a lot. I think the theme of the story is sometimes it takes a new and interesting idea to help you realize how much you really do have. That happens to me as a mom when I'm cooking. Like, oh, I need to cook. I don't know what to make. And the next thing I know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Next thing you know, we got some delicious burritos or tacos. Anyway, the theme of the story, try something new. You might discover how much you have. Maybe you can think of a different theme for the story. I'll see you next time.